Bada bing, bada boom. Social Inform Media.
This story is brought to us from abc15.com. Out of Phoenix. What in the hell is going on in Phoenix, Arizona? We're going to talk about police out there shooting people. And I don't know, maybe it's justified. Maybe it's not. I'm not there. But it's just weird. 4 in a week. So from ABC 15, we get Phoenix police officers shot and killed an armed man who was allegedly drinking and driving Saturday near Central Avenue and Bell Road. Now, officials say they received a call around 2:30 p.m. about a truck driving erratically and the driver was possibly drinking while driving. The caller then followed the suspected drunk driver to an apartment complex near 12th Street and Bell Road. Once the vehicle was parked, when the officers went to talk to the driver, they noticed there was a rifle in the truck. Now remember, this is Phoenix, Arizona. It probably is a rifle in the truck. Arizona, Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, they all have guns. But officials say the man was cooperative at first during the DUI investigation. At some point, they say the man went back to his truck and grabbed a handgun from the door of his truck, and then the officer struggled with the man and an officer-involved shooting occurred. The man, who's not yet been identified, was taken to the hospital where he succumbed to his injuries and died. Now, they are saying that no officers were injured in this incident. The shooting is currently under investigation, and it marks the fourth deadly officer-involved shooting in a week. We're going to go over the other three, because I don't know. I'm going to leave it up to you to decide if you know. But I know we're not getting a whole lot of... They never give you a whole lot of news, you know. I know people always say, well, you didn't get enough news. A lot of times these stories, they don't give you a whole lot of news because it's an ongoing investigation. Cops ain't going to talk about what happened till they know that they can make a narrative where they were right, you see. That's how law enforcement agencies work. The only time they really admit that they're responsible is when they're caught red-handed with a video. Outside of that, it's like, well, it was justified. But one of the other shootings that occurred happened in Avondale, Arizona, which I guess is near Phoenix. Police are investigating a deadly officer shooting there in the West Valley, where an incident reportedly happened in the area of Eliseo C. Felix Jr. Way and Riley Drive. It's located near the area of Dysart and Buckeye Roads. Yeah, that's Japan to me because I'm not from Arizona. But in a statement, Avondale police officials said at around 12:30 p.m. they received a call for service in regards to a crime that happened in the area. The statement reads, an Avondale officer who was responding to the call located a subject nearby matching the description and attempted to make contact with the subject. During this contact, there was an officer-involved shooting. The suspect, according to officials, was declared dead at the scene by medical personnel. Meanwhile, an officer was taken to the hospital for minor injuries, and the scene was secure and there was no danger to the public. They have released no names regarding the shooting. But that one comes from Fox 10 News on that one. So, same week that this DUI guy that they said had a gun was shot, there was an officer-involved shooting in Avondale. And they're not really saying if he was armed or not. And I've looked at a couple different news articles of this. But guess what? There was 2 more in Phoenix. So we've covered 2. Now we're going to cover 2 more in Phoenix. Police officers are involved in the deadly police-involved shooting near 23rd Avenue and Glendale Avenue in Phoenix. The incident occurred just before 3 p.m. near Washington High School. Officers say they were investigating a domestic aggravated assault from earlier this month. Police say they saw a man drive past the victim's home multiple times, and they were called to locate the man. They found a guy matching the description. He jumped a fence into a nearby parking lot. After officers attempted to contact the man, they say he allegedly fired a shot from a handgun. One officer then fired his gun. The man later died from his injuries. He was identified by police as 41-year-old Darren Holmes. No officers were injured, of course not. Now, officials with Washington High School released this statement concerning the shooting. It's pretty lengthy. Should I read it? Yeah, I'll read it. It's kind of lengthy, but here we go. In our ongoing efforts to provide communication with our families, we must inform you that Washington High School was placed into lockdown shortly after school today. The school administration is in coordination with the Phoenix Police, placed the school in a lockdown by bringing students, staff, and parents into the gymnasium and classrooms. And then I'm not going to read the rest of it. It just talks about what happened. There was a lockdown at the high school, basically. You can read it in the link below. So moving on, we got one more shooting that occurred in Phoenix. This is the fourth, I guess this would be the first one, right? And I don't know. Authorities are investigating a police-involved shooting near 27th Avenue and Van Buren Street. This is the fourth one in a week. According to Phoenix PD, according to Phoenix Police, Arizona Department of Public Safety troopers were in the area searching for a man in a stolen U-Haul vehicle after a failed traffic stop. Two officers attempted to contact the man, and the man then allegedly pulled a gun and pointed it at the officers. The man allegedly refused to put the gun down after various commands from the police. That is when police say the officer-involved shooting occurred. According to the police, the man died from his injuries. Now, a woman was also allegedly inside the U-Haul vehicle with a man. Police say the U-Haul was found at a nearby location. Now, she's being interviewed by the police, and it's unknown if she will face any charges. This incident marks the second officer-involved shooting Wednesday. Earlier that day, the one at 23rd and Glendale that I talked about, that was also on Wednesday. So they had two on Wednesday. The Avondale one was on Tuesday, and then this other one with the DUI guy, 4. 2 in one day. What, are people in Arizona just losing their mind? Hey, you know what I'll do? I'll go out with a gun and point it at cops. I don't know. It sounds fishy, man. In the Phoenix PD, weren't they being investigated by the Department of Justice? Sounds like they need another investigation or something. I don't know what the hell's going on in Phoenix.